good fortune to spend time with Maharaj. In his jail preaching program, we visited Columbia, South Carolina, and Petersburg, Virginia together to help these devotees. Because they're devotees, they're in jail. Because by the force of their karma, by the influence of the modes of material nature, mama maya duratyaya, they do something stupid and they land in jail, but they're devotees. And preaching in jail, you have a very good opportunity because you have a captive audience. But they're good devotees also. Who will take time? What devotee has compassion to go there? They're not going to give you donations. They're not going to attend any program. Who's going to help them? And many of them really need to be in jail, to be away from the temptations of material life they were unable to transcend. And when we distribute books in jail, one book will be read by 20, 30 people. I personally know 2 devotees who are on the verge of suicide because they land in jail and they think, I'm going to be here in this hellish environment for the next 20 years. And they can't deal with it. They're ready to end their life. And then somehow or other, by the grace of God, they get a Back to God magazine or a piece of literature, one of Srila Prabhupada's small books, and they become devotees instantly. Yeah. But who has the heart and soul, the compassion to take care of them? I went to one program. It's a First Petersburg program, Maharaj. I walk in the room, there's 4 walls, small room. There's BBT art on each wall. Incense is burning. They have Gaurnitai deities. They have a harmonium. They have a kartal. They have mridanga and all of Prabhupada's books. So they said to me, did you see our Gaurnitai deities? Or what? Gaurnitai. Gaurnitai. Oh, Gaurnitai. They never met a devotee before. And they're reading Prabhupada's books. But unless you meet a devotee who explains Prabhupada's books, much of what is the knowledge that is available there goes right over their head. They need to meet devotees. They met Prabhupada through his books. But who will take the time and energy to sacrifice their life for the welfare of these poor souls that have been incarcerated in jail? Only devotees like Maharaj. So there's an exact analogy between prison life and our life. Because Prabhus, Mantajis, we are also in prison, are we not? Are we not in prison? Mama Maya Duratyaya, the modes of material nature are not easy to transcend. We're beaten by the modes of material nature, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And the persons in jail are also beaten by modes of nature. They're there because they made some offense. How are we here in the material world? Because we made some offense. We're not here because we're pure devotees. We're here because we made some offense to Krishna and we find ourselves in the material world, struggling hard to be happy, imitating Krishna. Just like a little child, a little baby girl. She sees her mother cooking and she thinks, I want to cook just like mommy. So the parents want to entertain the child and they buy a little plastic stove, plastic pots and pans, some spoons, and she sits at her plastic stove and she's stirring like she's cooking just like mommy. She's not cooking like mommy. She thinks she's cooking like mommy. If you give her the real stove, she'll burn the house down. So we're in a similar situation. We're thinking, I am the enjoyer. Ishwaroham aham bhogi sedoham balavan sukhi. This is our disease. I am the controller. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. And we're none of those things. But we think we are. We're like the little child thinking, I'm cooking just like mommy. We're not the supreme controller. We are subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But because we think we are, we made offense, we've come to this material world. How to get out? Tasmad gurum prapaddeta jigyasu shaya uttamam. Shabdi Parecha Nishnatam Brahmanya Upashamashrayam. The solution, even the demigods in heaven, with lifetime of millions of years, inconceivable material happiness to our standard of living, still they're afraid. Still they're fearful. Next verse says this, Tasmat Gurum Prapadite. What is the solution to everyone's problem in life? Tasmat means therefore. When your argument is strong, when you've reached a conclusion, you say therefore. Therefore, Guru Prapadeta, the solution to all our problems is to surrender to Sri Guru, Krishna's representative. Now in our analogy, a person who is imprisoned, after he's spent his time, he's lived out his duration of his prison sentence, he doesn't go directly back into society. He goes to halfway house and has to report to a parole officer. So in this analogy, who is parole officer? Who is helping us come reintegrate back into real society, spiritual society? Goloka Vrindavan, Sri Guru. There is one devotee. He did something really stupid, found himself in jail. He got out, went to halfway house. They gave him a job. They gave him a car. But you have to stay in the halfway house. You're not completely free. They told him, here's the car, here's the keys, go to work. You keep the money, you go to work, but you have to stay here, we're watching you. He couldn't deal with it, took the car, drove to Mexico, bam, they put him back in jail. So who is the parole officer in our life? Sri Guru. If we follow his instructions, we are liberated from material life once. Yad gatva ninivartante tadama paramamama. You go back to the kingdom of God and never come back to this material ever again. But if you disregard parole officer, if you disregard Sri Guru, then again you become conditioned. Sadhana means you have one foot in the kingdom of God and you have one foot in the material world. We're on parole. We're being watched. And if we follow the instructions of Sri Guru, we can get out. And this is the importance of having Guru. Without Guru, you're like a ship without a rudder. You can be in the boat. You're aloof from the modes of nature. You're in the boat of Bhakti. You're reading a Shastra. You're associating with devotees. You're taking prasadam, offering obeisances to deity. You're aloof from the influence of modes of material nature. But without a rudder, you can't go anywhere. Guru is essential for our progress in spiritual life. Without Guru, spiritual life is phantasmagoria. It's a dream. It's a hallucination. You require guidance. Even if you want to decide, I'm going to become computer technology. I'm going to learn how to fix computers. Do you just start taking one apart? You'll destroy the computer. It'll never work again. In the same way, even if this is true on a material level, how much more important is it on a spiritual level? We need instruction. Tasmat gurum prapadyata. Prapadyata, we have to surrender. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashtena sevaya upadakshante te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. If you want to be tattvadarshi, if you want to see things as they are, who are you? What is this world? Why am I suffering? Who is God? You have to prapadyata. You have to surrender. And pariprashna, ask relevant questions. And seva, give seva. It's not free. The priceless information, the spiritual information, the blessings we receive from Guru is not free. You have to give seva. Because Guru is not a void, a light, a zero, a nothing. He's not impersonal. He's full of desires. For what? For serving Krishna. So Shishya's duty is to cooperate with Sri Guru. If he follows us, he's going back to Godhead. And if you follow him, you will also go. This is the simple principle of Guru Parampara. I wanted to tell one story also, because I was fortunate to visit New Vrindavan many, 1977. I was doing bhajan with His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. He was living in a closet. And we were doing 24-hour kirtan because Srila Prabhupada's health was very delicate at that time. So Maharaj had taken the most undesirable time slot from 1 o'clock in the morning till 4:30 in the morning, till Mangal Aarti start. So one morning I dragged myself out, did Kirtan with Maharaj, and I was staying in New Vrindavan for getting some training in deity worship. So New Vrindavan was very, very austere place. Breakfast meant oat water, not oatmeal, oat water. You take 1 cup of oats and you put 10 cups of water, you drink it. And plain rice, no masala, no ghee, plain rice and oat water. All week long, this is the diet. And for lunchtime, maybe a little sabji. They go out to the forest and pick some weeds, poke salad. They make some sabji from the weeds in the forest, and dal, and maybe some chapati. Very, very austere. But on Sunday, big feast. Gulab jamun, sweet rice from Radha Vrindavan Chandra's cows, sabji, puri, halwa, pakora, chutney, big feast. And the devotees were eating so many gulab jamuns that Kirtanananda Swami said, "This is Maya, no more than 2 gulab jamuns." The devotees became very sad. What? Only 2? Because they're eating 5, 6, 7 gulab jamuns. And actually the most depressing day of the New Vrindavan inmates week was Monday, because the Sunday feast was 6 days away. And the most joyful day is Saturday. Sunday feast is coming. No more oat water. So Kirtanananda said, only 2 gulab jamuns. So Srila Prabhupada was there, and they took their case to Prabhupada. But Srila Prabhupada, Kirtanananda Swami says this is Maya and only 2 gulab jamuns. Prabhupada said, you can eat as many as you like. But Kirtanananda Swami, he can only eat 2. So I offer my Anantakoti Shastanga Dandavat Pranam to my beloved Godbrother Chandramauli Maharaj. I wish him long life and ever-increasing service to all inside the prison, the big prison and the little prison. May you deliver them all.
Vivo!
Hare Krishna.